If it costs you your peace, it is too expensive.
Our body knows that our peace is being challenged before our brain does.
How many of us can feel our jaws clench, can feel there's this involuntary almost folding in of the shoulders?
That normalized chaos is confusing overfunctioning with dedication. Welcome back to Unapologetic Rabble-Rousers. I'm DocShellie.
And I'm Carla Lewis. All right. So let's dig into something that we are both hearing a lot about people just being in a place of overwhelm. There's just lots going on, right? So it's like people's peace is being challenged from so many different directions. And so if we were to take a look at this as a title and see what we could unfold, I'm offering this. If it costs you your peace, it is too expensive.
Too expensive. I have that on a sweatshirt and I wear it proudly.
Yeah. Yeah. So being able to take a look at this whole notion of your peace is so incredibly vital, first off, to you being who you are and how you are and showing up in the world. And secondly, nobody else gives more of a concern and consideration for your peace than you. You cannot be looking to anybody else to be able to help you find it, feel it. Mm-hmm. So you own what makes up your own peace. Mm-hmm. And we need to take a look at the kinds of things that are tugging on that, the things that we maybe even unconsciously are letting go of that erodes some of that sense of peace. And we really want to chew on this one together. Who won it?
I think we have to recognize that our bodies, I just said recognize like two words apart. Our body knows that our peace is being challenged before our brain does.
Oh, it's so true. I'm sorry, I'm just jumping right in because being aware, if we could become more aware of what our body's telling us, even if we can't interpret it in the moment, be aware that there's a signal coming in. Okay, I'm back on mute.
No, it's true. There's a whole book, The Body Keeps Score. It's a lovely book, but our bodies absolutely track everything. And I think about what comes to mind for you. What are some of the things that your body does that indicates peace might be being evaded or being stolen or not accomplished?
Threatened even, right? Mm-hmm. So I absolutely, and I don't know where my solar plexus might really be, but there's something about midway in my gut. If something is going on that is unnerving, somehow disturbing, even if I cannot put words around what it is, but there's this trigger, and I get this, not just a clench, but there's like a nerve response, that a feeling I can't even describe that says, pay attention. And I'll tell you, after all of these decades, I've learned that it's really important to pay attention to that particular feeling, even if I can't interpret it in the moment, but that it's telling me something. It's telling me something. How many of us can feel our jaws clench, can feel there's this involuntary almost folding in of the shoulders, this almost cocooning kind of a thing? And I don't think that's the right word, but the notion that you're wrapping yourself up just to try to protect. So it doesn't come in from a specific direction. It could be a threat to my thinking. It could be a threat to my physical being. It could be a threat to my finances. It could come from a bunch of different directions. But I get a physical signal that something's going on.
Yeah, I think a lot of people get the physical signals, the tight shoulders, the shallow breast, the racing thoughts, the gut tension that you mentioned, or whatever you solar plexus.
I have no
tightening,
idea
whatever you called it.
I don't even know what it is, but
but think about what are maybe some of the non-obvious signs that your peace is compromised that you might not recognize in the moment.
I would say that I make a decision that has not been, in retrospect, will not have been well considered. And I'll start moving down a path. It could be I'm driving. It could be I'm making a decision online. It could be I'm accepting or not a speaking engagement. It's that I'm doing it and I'm not sure why. I'm headed in that direction and I'm not sure why. And yet I keep going rather than test it. And I'm not sure, Michelle, if I'm actually answering your question.
Yeah, I think so. Thinking about the non-obvious signs that your peace is compromised. So yeah. And then some things that come to mind for me when I think about that outside the physical things that are easy to detect is replaying conversations. Okay. So many of my clients do this.
Okay.
I've been replaying this conversation for 3 weeks. I wish I would have said this. I should have said this. Or I worry about how... My favorite one is, I'm pretty sure that person is still really upset about the conversation that we had. And they tell me the conversation, and I'm like, that person probably has not given that a second thought. And you have been stewing about it for 122 hours. So it's that kind of mental replay. And then the other thing huge. I think I see a lot is, for me, this is the one that I do, is I just have a no reason sigh. I'm done. I'm fatigued. My brain fog is like at a high, and it's almost like a low grade dread of whatever I need to do or whatever I'm supposed to do, and I just don't want to do it. I'm like, ugh. And it might be something, I've even done that for pickleball sometimes. And I love going to play pickleball, but every once in a while, I don't want to go. And it's just like this, like it's costing me my peace today to go play pickleball.
Yeah, and I love that reminder about that sigh. And I don't know, this is from my childhood, I'm sure, but I have this image of just my mom sitting there and she's got the paper in her hands and there's this sigh, and then it's just like, just toss the paper aside. It's that whole, if I could, I would make this all go away. But for right now, all I can do is throw it aside.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
I think there's a couple other things. That was a great example. And I think a couple other things that come to mind for me are what I see and what I've experienced is an overreaction to tiny things.
Okay.
Because if you're at peace, you're not going to have those kind of big reactions over the molehills. What is that saying? You make a mountain out of a molehill. Like that reactivity is not coming from a place of peace. And then over-explaining or justifying. Like, because if you were at peace, you would say what you needed to say and you'd move on. That was a good edit on my part. Because anyone who knows me knows what I really wanted to say right there. Very proud of myself.
Okay, I'm clapping. I'm celebrating you. I am celebrating you.
That's so stupid. But yeah, that over-explaining, that justifying when things really don't need it.
Wow. I'll bet there isn't a single person listening who can't at this moment conjure up one of those kinds of events.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I think when I initially start thinking about peace, it's like these people that are all kumbaya, practicing yoga 24. I love yoga. I'm not dissing yoga, but it's like these people that just have no strife in their life and they're all unicorn, sunshine, and roses, right? That's a lovely place to be. Most of the world doesn't live there.
Excuse me.
But when we think about just those smaller elements of peace, doing something you don't want to do, over explaining, those things stack up. Mm-hmm. And they can have a really negative impact on your health, your mental well-being, your physical health.
When you think about the load that you're carrying by all of those things stacking up and that spark that's inside that's really you, that is suffering, is suffocating.
Yeah.
Because it can't get out. There's that an internal chaos, and that we're going to go ahead and just push that down for purposes of somebody else's peace, or don't want to rock the boat.
Yeah. You say chaos. Like, I just think of so many people I know who live in the land of chaos. It's normal to them. Everything's frantic. Everything is an urgent thing. Everything's a big deal. Everything's a thing. Mm. There's a lot of people pleasing in that. They find some sort of satisfaction in it. And yet I see the burnout, and I see it coming hard for some of these people. It's almost, we talked about overfunctioning in the last episode. Mm-hmm. That normalized chaos is confusing overfunctioning with dedication. It's an interesting thing to think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Okay. So, wow. There was just this flood of honestly little vignettes. Most of them from work, some of them from non-work and early years. But you think about, okay, what you just talked about, all of these things, and it's exhausting. People are, there's this battle going on. It's being waged at a level that consumes us, but it might not actually be all of that conscious. That these decisions that are being made based on anything but conscious reflection. And we've talked about it before, about every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And you think
you're saying no to yourself.
Well, in this case, that's exactly it. Every time you're saying yes to something that is sucking the life out of you, draining you in some fashion, you're letting yourself, you're abandoning yourself. And being able to come to terms with the cost of that.
Yeah. And I think, as I think about the decisions people make every day, where they say yes to something that they want to say no to, I think there is a heavy guilt that comes in when you say no to something that you could do, but shouldn't do.
Ooh. Okay.
So I could go to dinner tomorrow night, but I really shouldn't because I got 800 other things to do. And now I feel guilt. I don't feel guilty.
Okay.
But now someone feels guilty about saying no because they could.
Meaning that there's room, they would make room. It isn't that they are like on the other side of the planet. So it.
Right. They could do it. They could easily do it, but they don't want to. There's maybe a couple reasons they shouldn't, or they just plain old don't want to. The guilt that comes with saying no to that thing that you could do, I think for a lot of people is astronomical.
So how?
Then they start to craft some crazy stories. We talked about this before. Yeah. And then they really abandon themselves because now they're not holding themselves to the values they likely live by.
They're not living a truth.
Yeah.
And
so I think it's really important to recognize in those moments that peace is the power to choose what you do or don't do. It's not about anyone else. It's not about letting people down. It's about nothing but you and the power you have to make choices for you in your life. And doing that from a place of peace. And just being okay with the decisions, regardless of the reactions people have.
which makes your peace your strength.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So in practice, what does this look like?
I think a big one is recognizing that you don't have to earn your peace. You get to choose it. I also think you talked about people being exhausted. We're not going to find peace in the burnout.
Yeah.
And I think we don't have to justify our peace. So as you think about all of that, like I think we've said a lot in this episode, what are you willing to walk away from in order to keep your peace? Because as we started off with the title, if it costs you your peace, it's too damn expensive. It's not worth it. So what do you need to let go of? Where is it costing your peace?
And may peace be with you.
May peace be with you. With that, I am DocShellie.
And I'm Carla Lewis. Thank you for being here with us. Please share. Please give us some feedback. And please come and visit with us again next week.
We're not going to find peace in the burnout. If it costs you your peace, it's too damn expensive.